What would make the FBI publicly release surveillance images of a masked individual and warn the public that the person may be armed when they don't even have a suspect? That question sits at the center of the sudden disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother. The last confirmed moment anyone saw her was almost painfully ordinary. She was dropped off at her home outside Tucson late on the night of January 31st. No signs of distress, no argument, no indication that anything was wrong. By the next afternoon, when she hadn't answered calls or messages, concern turned into alarm and authorities were notified. At first, it looked like a routine missing person case, but investigators quickly realized the timeline didn't add up. Somewhere between that quiet drop-off and the missing report the following day, something went wrong. And whatever happened didn't leave obvious clues behind. But what investigators would later discover suggested this wasn't random at all, and that someone may have been preparing for this moment long before she ever stepped out of the car. Sometime that same morning, a doorbell camera at the home captured something chilling. A person wearing gloves, a face covering, and a backpack approached the front door, not to knock, but to interfere with the camera itself. The movements were deliberate, controlled, and anything but accidental. Investigators believe the individual was attempting to disable or tamper with the device, effectively blinding the home just hours before the disappearance was discovered. That single detail changed everything. This was no longer a case of someone wandering off or getting lost. It suggested planning and intent. And when authorities realized the camera wasn't the only thing that had gone quiet, they made a decision they rarely make this early in an investigation. With no suspects and no clear leads, the FBI made a rare move. They released the surveillance images to the public, hoping someone might recognize the clothing, the gear, or the way the person moved. Even the family didn't recognize the individual, which only deepened the mystery. And then investigators revealed another detail that made the case even more unsettling. Authorities say the individual seen in the images may be armed. That warning alone changed how the public viewed the case and how seriously investigators were taking it. It also explains why the FBI director personally visited the command center in Tucson, a move that signaled urgency behind the scenes. This wasn't just about finding answers anymore. It was about time and what might happen next if the right person didn't come forward. What's made investigators especially uneasy is the silence. Authorities say there's been no confirmed communication, no clear demands of any kind. In cases like this, that absence raises more questions than answers. It leaves investigators working in the dark, relying on fragments instead of direction. And that's why the focus is shifted to the public, because one overlooked detail could be the difference between a cold trail and the sudden break in the case.